perfect wisdom, with the divisions of the Abhishamaya-lamkara. Translated by Edward Conze. University of California Press, Berkeley, Los Angeles, London. Translation of the Sutra. Chapter 18. Going forth on the stages of the Great Vehicle. 9. The equipment with the antidotes. 9. Antidote to the first discrimination of the object on the path of vision. 3 questions concerning the Great Vehicle. As again, subhuti, you say, from where will that vehicle go forth? It will go forth from what belongs to the triple world. Where the knowledge of all modes is, there it will come to a stand. And that again in consequence of non-duality. And why? Because those two dharmas, i.e., the great vehicle and the knowledge of all modes, are neither conjoined nor disjoined, immaterial, undefinable, non-resisting, with one mark only, i.e., no mark. And why? Because unmarked dharmas do not go forth, will not go forth, have not gone forth. To wish for the going forth of unmarked dharmas is like wishing for the going forth of the dharma-element of suchness, the reality limit, the unthinkable element, the space element, the forsaking-element, the dispassion-limit, of non-production, stopping, non-existence, of the emptiness of form, feeling, etc. And why? Because the form-emptiness, etc. will not go forth from what belongs to the triple world, nor will it come to a stand in the knowledge of all modes. And why? Because form is empty of form, etc. To wish for the going forth of unmarked dharmas is like wishing for the going forth of a dream, a mirage, an illusion, an echo, an image, a reflection, a village of the Gandharvas, a magical creation of the Tathagata. And why? Because the own being of a dream will not go forth from what belongs to the triple world, nor will it come to a stand in the knowledge of all modes. Even so with the own being of a mirage, etc. And why? Because the own being of a dream, etc. is empty of the own being of a dream, etc. 9b. Antidote to the second discrimination of the object on the path of vision. The own being of the perfections, emptiness, applications of mindfulness, etc. 2. Buddha dharmas. 9c. Antidote to the first discrimination of the subject on the path of vision. Of the fruit of a stream winner, etc. 2. The knowledge of all modes is empty of the own being of the perfections, etc. 2. The knowledge of all modes. 9d. Antidote to the second discrimination of the subject on the path of vision. He would wish for the going forth of a word, a sign, an agreed symbol, a conventional expression, a mere concept, who could wish for the going forth of unmarked dharmas. And why? Because that which is the own being of a word, sign, agreed symbol, conventional expression or concept, that will not go forth from what belongs to the triple world, nor will it come to a stand in the knowledge of all modes. And why? Because the own being of a word, sign, agreed symbol, conventional expression or concept is empty of the own being of a word, sign, agreed symbol, conventional expression or concept. And the same holds good of non-production, non-stopping and the ineffective. It is thus that the great vehicle will not go forth from what belongs to the triple world, and will not come to a stand in the knowledge of all modes. That vehicle has not started off even. 9e. Antidote to the first discrimination of the object on the path of development. As again Subhuti has said, where will that vehicle stand? This vehicle will not stand anywhere. And why? Because all dharmas nave no stand. But that vehicle will stand by way of not taking its stand anywhere. Just as the dharma-element neither stands nor does not stand, just so the great vehicle. Just as non-production, non-stopping, non-defilement, non-purification, and the unaffected do neither stand nor not stand, just so the great vehicle. For the dharma-element is empty of the dharma-element. And why? Because the own being of the dharma-element neither stands nor does not stand. And why? Because the own being of the dharma-element is empty of the own being of the dharma-element. And so likewise with non-production, etc. It is thus that this vehicle does not stand anywhere, but it will stand by way of not taking a stand, and in consequence of the fact that it cannot be moved about. 9f. Antidote to the second discrimination of the object on the path of development. As Subhuti has said, who will go forth by means of this vehicle? No one will go forth by means of that vehicle. Because that vehicle, and that by which he would go forth, and he who would go forth, and that from which he would go forth, all these dharmas do not exist. Since all these dharmas do not exist, which dharma could go forth by means of which dharma? And why? Because a self, a being, etc. 2. One who sees, is not got at, on account of the fact that a self, etc. are absolutely pure. And similarly with the dharma-element, the unproduced, etc. the unaffected, etc. the skandhas, etc. 2. The knowledge of all modes. The joyous stage. The immaculate stage. The light-giving stage. The brilliant stage. The stage which is very difficult to conquer. The stage which is face-to-face, the far-reaching stage, the immovable stage, the stage of unerringly effective intentions, the stage of the cloud of Dharma. The beginning, the end, and the present. Coming, going, and stability. Decease and rebirth, decrease and increase, on account of their absolute purity. Because of the non-apprehension of what is everything not got at. Because of the non-apprehension of the Dharma-element. And why? Because of the non-apprehension of the Dharma-element is the Dharma-element not got at. And so with non-production, etc. 2. The unaffected, etc. 2. Suchness, etc. 2. The perfections, etc. 2. The Buddha Dharmas. 9. G. Antidote to the first discrimination of the subject on the path of development. The stream winner is not got at because of the non-apprehension of the stream winner. And why? A steam winner cannot be got at on account of this absolute purity. And so with the once returner, etc. 2. The Tathagata. 9. H. Antidote to the second discrimination of the subject on the path of development. With the fruit of a steam winner, etc. 2. Buddhahood. The 10 stages. From the joyous stage to the stage of the Dharma cloud, and likewise the 10 stages, from the stage of bright insight, the stage of becoming one of the clan, the 8th lowest stage, etc. 2. The stage of one who has done, the stage of a pratyeka Buddha, the stage of a bodhisattva, the stage of a Buddha. It is because of the 18 kinds of emptiness that the stages are not got at, nor the maturing of beings, nor the purifying of the Buddha field, nor the 5 eyes, etc. T is thus that a bodhisattva, a great being, in consequence of taking in all dharmas nothing at all as a basis, will go forth by means of the great vehicle to the knowledge of all modes. End chapter 18.